What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Tank be chopping, and I'm back with another haircut tutorial. Alright guys, what we're gonna be doing on this cut is we actually leaving the length on top and we're gonna be doing a low fade. So as y'all can see, I'm taking my X Ergo from Gamma. I have my number 4 guard on my clipper, and all I'm doing is debulking the sides, bringing it all down to that number 4. That way I know that I'm really just fading into a number 4. And then as y'all can see, the closer I get to that parietal ridge area, I'm making sure I use a slight flick out motion, really floating this clipper away. That way this number 4 fades into the top and I only have to worry about fading into a number 4. Now I'm taking my X Evos. Once again guys, all I'm doing is creating my initial bald guideline, and as y'all can see, I start low in the front. I keep that C cup really nice and dark, and then I bring it up above the ear, drop it down below the occipital bone in the back, and then right here I'm just doing the same thing on the opposite side, trying to connect these two sides. Now that that is done, I'm going in with my FX2 shaver from Babyliss, and I'm getting all this down to skin. The closer you get to that initial bald guideline, guys, you want to make sure you're using a slight flick out motion and you're relieving some of that pressure. That way you don't leave too harsh of a line and this haircut just fades in a lot easier. Alright, so now I'm going in with my clipper lever all the way open, and all I'm doing is following that same shape that I created with my bald guideline. I'm coming up about 1/2 inch to 3/4 of an inch or so, using a slight flick out motion. And as you can see, I'm gonna go over that more than one time, just trying to be a little consistent with it, make sure it's all down to that length. And then I close my lever all the way, and I'm just attacking this bottom line, moving this bottom line up just ever so slightly. And then I'm gonna open my lever halfway, and I'm gonna come halfway into this section, still using a slight flick out motion, really just trying to get this blend to come together. However, I'm not gonna try to spend too much time. I am gonna adjust my lever as needed and do some lever play within this section. That way this section is nice and blended out. And if it doesn't get totally blended out this first time around, it's totally fine, guys. Remember, you can always go back in later and detail it and really refine these areas if needed. And as y'all can see, I am using a little bit of corner blending. That's just gonna help me be a little more precise when I'm trying to get out some dark areas. So my next step is my number 1 guard on my clipper, lever all the way open, coming up another section, still following that same guideline that I created earlier. So once again, guys, I'm coming up slightly above the ear, and then I'm dropping it down on the back, using a slight flick out motion. That way it doesn't leave too harsh of a line. Obviously it is gonna leave a line, but that's totally fine. And then I'm gonna close my lever all the way, and I'm gonna come right below that. Just really, well, not necessarily right below that, but I'm really just attacking that bottom line. But I know it's not gonna get that line out completely, so I'm gonna have to come back in with my 0 guard or my half guard, and I'm gonna have to use some lever play to get that line out. So this is my half guard, and I believe my lever is halfway open, and what I'm doing is just really attacking that line, using some corner blending, trying to get that line out. And if it does happen to create a line within this section, I know that I can just open my lever a little bit and just play with that line a little bit. And that's basically what you do with this half guard, guys. You do a lot of lever play and just use corner blending to try to get these dark lines out. And once again, guys, I make sure that I keep a brush or a comb in my hand. That way I can keep brushing out the hair, brushing away extra debris, or combing away the extra debris. That way it doesn't get in my way and I can actually see how the fade is looking. So now this is my 1.5 guard, lever all the way open, following that same shape, still using a slight flick out motion. And then I'm gonna adjust my lever close and come right below that. And this client does have some pretty dense hair. It's not super dense, but we're gonna have to go back in and do a lot of detail work once I'm done with my actual steps. So this is my number 3 guard all the way open, and the reason why I'm using the number 3 is because I know I debulked the sides with a 4, so I just gotta come back in with my number 3 and basically start doing some down fading, or what I like to call sandwiching the blend all the way down to that 1.5 guard. So once again, guys, 3 all the way open, and then I'm gonna close my lever as y'all saw me do right there, and I'm gonna come right below what I did with that number 3 guard all the way open. Now this is my number 2 guard, and I'm gonna be doing the exact same thing that I did, guys. Try to come right below what I did with my number 3 guard, lever closed. come right below that. Just try to fade this into that number 3 guard, and then I'm gonna close my lever and come right below that. And if there's some areas that you feel aren't coming out, that's totally fine, guys. Just go in with the corner of your blade and use some corner blending. When you use corner blending, it leaves the hair slightly longer than what that guard is. So if you go on with the 2 lever open and you corner blend, it's gonna be slightly longer than the 2.5. And that's why I do a lot of corner blending, because I don't feel like switching my guards so much. I just feel corner blending really helps with detailing and refining the haircut. And now I'm going back in with my 1.5 guard. Once again, guys, I said I was gonna have to do a lot of detailing on this haircut. So this is my 1.5 guard lever open, and then I close my lever, just doing some detail work. He did have some stubborn hair right here in this area, right in the parietal ridge area, where I had to, right below the parietal ridge area, the temple area, where I had to do a lot of cleanup work because his hair was like sticking out. And this is my number 1 guard, lever open. Basically just doing some lever play, trying to get this blend to come together. And as you can see now, I'm just refining this cut. I basically went through all my steps, but this haircut isn't flawless. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of discrepancies in it. There's some dark areas, so I'm gonna go back in and just refine everything, and that's basically what I'm doing now. So now I'm going in with my half guard once again. This time I went in with my lever all the way open, and then I just started to do some lever play to get these dark lines out, get these discrepancies out, just clean everything up as nice as I can. And remember, guys, when it comes to detailing and refining the cut, take as much time as you need. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to speed through this process. Just take your time. Just try to be real consistent with what you're doing. Really try to pay attention to how the haircut looks, and use your mirrors. That's one tip I can always say that has helped me a lot, is using my mirror. So as y'all can see, I'm going in now with my clipper no guard on there. I'm just doing corner blending, doing some more detail work in the bottom of this fade area. I still feel that it's not 100% just yet. So I'm just going in, tapping these dark areas. As you can see here, just trying to clean up these darker areas that I see in the blend, just really trying to make it all come together. And like, I feel that the blend's not there yet, but it's getting there. You know what I'm saying? We getting a little closer to how I want it to look. So now I'm going in with my trimmer, and the reason why I'm using my trimmer, guys, is because there was a faint line at the bottom of this blend, and more towards the back area you can see it a little more. So I'm just going in with my trimmer, trying to get that bald line completely out. However, I'm still using the corner of that blend, or the corner of that trimmer, that way I don't take off too much hair and don't leave too much of a bald spot, because sometimes you can leave a bald spot, or like what's the word I'm looking for, like, you can, I don't want to say patch them up, but you can just take too much hair off and you can see like a bald line. So you don't want to do that. That's why I use my corners. And then now I'm going back in with my clipper, lever closed, just cleaning everything up, basically, because it still wasn't there yet, so I had to go back in and clean it up. And I've said it before, guys, sometimes some of the haircuts take you a little longer. You have to do more detail work, but you just got to do what you got to do to make sure that blend comes together. And now I'm going in with my trimmer, and I'm lining up the front of my client's hairline, starting off in the middle, working my way over to that vertical bar, hitting that vertical bar, and then we're gonna give him a nice C-cup. And even though I don't feel that my client really needed some enhancements, I used enhancements at the end of the cut just to make this line look a little sharper and make these lines pop a little more. And if you hear that in the background right now, just so y'all know, it's 4th of July, so they're popping fireworks outside. So yeah, that's what that noise is, if y'all do happen to hear some noise in the background. And y'all know how your boy does it, guys. Once I line up my client, I like to go back in and do some more detail work. So that's what I'm doing now. I still felt that the blend needed some more work. And I know I say this a lot in this video, and it's because, like I said earlier, guys, his hair wasn't the easiest to fade. So sometimes you're going to have to go back in and do more work than a previous client or than what you did previously. But you just got to do what you got to do to make sure that blend comes together. And remember, I feel that when you go back in and do when you go back in and do detail work, lever play and corner blending are going to be your best friends for detailing. You know what I'm saying? Just use that lever as needed, adjust it as needed, use the corner of that blend to be more detailed and to refine these areas that you feel need to be touched up slightly. And I believe this was my number 3 guard, not 100% sure, but it's my number 2 and my number 3 guard. And I'm just cleaning it up because right here, that's where his hair was sticking out a little bit. I'm not sure if he was wearing a hat or something, but there was like a slight line towards the front, towards the temple area. So I had to go back in and really clean that up. Alright guys, so now that we finished off that side of the haircut, we did the same exact thing on the right side of my client's head. However, I did not record that, but I did record the back as you see me doing now, and we're doing the same exact steps that I did earlier. A lot of times people will overcomplicate things and try to do something different. 9 times out of 10, if you just do the same steps throughout the whole head, you'll get a nice consistent blend. Sometimes you can even work the whole head instead of doing one side at a time. 9 times out of 10, I do one side at a time. That's just the way I like to blend, you know what I'm saying? But I know a lot of barbers, they do the whole head, and I feel that sometimes that can help you be a little more consistent with your blends. So if your fade isn't coming together properly or the way you like it to look when you do one side at a time, try fading in the whole head. I don't like to do that because I feel that I lose myself sometimes. Like I just feel that I'm using the same guard or the same clip for too long. So that's why I do one side at a time, and I like to give the client at least one side a completely finished look, not just for my client, but so if there's any people in the shop, they can see, oh, that boy Tank, yeah, he can blend, you know, that's a nice haircut. And I just like doing that. I just like to give a finished product, even though I'm not really done, you know. But the left side of the haircut's finished, even though the rest isn't. It still leaves a nice finished look on that side of the cut. Remember guys, if you are interested in these tools that I'm using, I am using Gamma Plus tools in this video. Well, the clipper and the trimmer, you can go to their website, you can purchase this clipper and this trimmer. You can use my discount code TANK10, save yourself a little bit of money. And if y'all paying attention, I'm using my Tune 45 power clips on this clipper, the trimmer, and the shaver. And I was using the Crazy Good box for a while, but I just had some issues with it, so I decided to go back to a power mat, and I just feel for me it works better for me. So basically what I'm trying to say guys is, if you want to purchase these power clips or you want to purchase the power mat, you can go to tune45.com. You can use my discount code TANK. I'll make sure to put it in the description, and you can cop these things at a slight discount. But as y'all can see here guys, this part of the blend is coming together. Low fades always tend to give me a little more trouble in the back, and it has a lot to do with the way, you know, we have dents and, you know, the occipital bone and just dents and ridges in the back of our head. So you got to be a little more detailed in the back, use a lot of your corners, just because the back is a little harder, you know what I'm saying? So do what you got to do to make sure it comes together, but don't stress it, don't overthink it. You're doing the same steps, even though you have to go back in and detail a little more. Now I'm going in with my trimmer, doing some more detail work, some corner blending, and now I decided to go back in with my clipper and clean this up a little more. Alright guys, so now I'm adding some enhancements. Remember guys, I said I didn't feel that he really needed them, but I really wanted these lines to pop a little more, so I'm using No Drip from Tune 45. As you can see, I got my clutch, Sean Cuts hair enhancement card, and I'm just hitting these lines with these enhancements, really making it pop. And then I'm following that with the blade. And remember guys, when you're doing the razor work, you want to make sure you stretch that skin as tight as you can. That way you lessen the chance of nicking your client. And then all we're doing is going over everything we do with the trimmer, making sure these lines are really sharp. From this angle, this blend is looking top notch to me, man. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Alright guys, but check it out. This is how my boy walked into the shop looking. This is the before look, and this is the finished product. Y'all let me know what y'all think about this haircut in the comment section. If y'all like this video, please make sure to smash that like button. Also, if new to my channel, make sure and subscribe one time for your boy. Remember guys, if you're in the Houston, Texas area and you want a haircut from your boy, you can go to my website, tankbchopping.com. You can book there. If you're interested in any of these tools, remember I got links in my description. Use my discount codes, and that's basically it, YouTube. I appreciate y'all for watching. Until next time, let's go. Yeah.